HTML links. Links are found in nearly all web pages. Links allow users to click their way from page to page. HTML links, hyperlinks. HTML links are hyperlinks. You can click on a link and jump to another document. When you move the mouse over a link, the mouse arrow will turn into a little hand. So here, a link does not have to be a text. A link can be an image or any other HTML element. The HTML links syntax. The HTML inside angle brackets A tag defines a hyperlink. It has the following syntax. Inside angle brackets, we're gonna have the letter A, then we're gonna have the attribute href. We're gonna assign it inside double quotes the URL. We close the angle brackets, then we have the context. In this case, it's gonna be link text, and then we're gonna have the end tag. So it's gonna be open angle brackets slash and the letter A. The most important attribute of the A element is the href attribute, which indicates the link's destination. The link text is the part that will be visible to the reader. Clicking on the link text will send the reader to the specified URL address. And here we have an example. So we're gonna open Visual Studio Code, and okay, I'm gonna create an HTML file. I'm gonna name it test.html, and then I'm gonna press shift exclamation mark press enter. So I'm gonna create a template, and now I'm gonna grab this example here and I'm gonna paste it inside of the body. So it's gonna be here in lines and line number 11. So we have angle brackets, we have the letter A, we have the attribute href, the equal sign, and inside of the double quotes we're gonna put the URL, and in this case the URL is gonna be the https://www.w3schools.com. So this is the URL that we're gonna go. We close the angle brackets, then we're gonna have the text that is gonna be visit the W3 schools, and then we end the A tag. So angle brackets /A. Now I'm gonna open it. I go to my HTML file, right click and open with live server. So I'm gonna wait for that, and there you have it. So you click here and it's gonna send you to the W3 schools page. So that's pretty much it for this example. By default, links will appear as follows in all browsers. An unvisited link is underlined in blue. A visited link is underlined in purple. An active link is underlined in red. So here they give us some tips. Links can of course be styled with CSS to get another look. HTML links, the target attribute. By default, the link page will be displayed in the current browser window. To change this, you must specify another target for the link. The target attribute specifies where to open the link document. The target attribute can have one of the following values. So here we have _self. Default opens the document in the same window /tab as it was clicked. _blank opens the document in a new window or tab. Then we have _parent opens the document in the parent frame. And finally we have _tab opens the document in the full body of the window. For example, in this example that we have here, when I click it, pretty much it opens the URL in the same page. So we're gonna see some examples using the target. So in this example, use target is equal, and then open double quotes. Then we're gonna use _blank to open the link document in a new browser window or tab. So we're gonna grab this example, and I'm gonna go to Visual Studio Code. Okay, so I'm gonna go to so line 11. I'm gonna paste it, save it with Ctrl+S, and again it's the same thing. I have the A, I have the href attribute, I have the URL inside of the double quote. The difference here is I have the target here, target equal, and now inside double quotes we're gonna put the underscore blank. So now the text is gonna be visit W3 school. So I save it, and now when I go to the website here, if I click it, it's gonna send me to another link. It's not gonna open in this link, it's gonna open to another tab. So I click it, and there you go, it's opening in another tab. See, it's opening the URL W3 schools in a different tab. So that is that for that example. Now we have the absolute URLs versus relative URLs. Both examples above are using an absolute URL, a full web address, and the href attribute. A local link, a link to a page within the same website, is specified with a relative URL without the https://www part. So here we're gonna have some examples. We're gonna grab those, and we're gonna go to Visual Studio Code, and inside of the body, okay, I'm gonna delete this one, and I'm gonna paste it here. So from lines 11 to line 17, and line 11 I have the heading 2 is gonna be absolute URLs. Lines 15 is gonna be relative URLs. So if I go to our website, we have absolute URLs. So if I press if I click here, okay, it doesn't have the underscore blank, so it doesn't go to another tab. If I press this one, okay, send me to Google. So these two are absolute URLs. Now we have relative URLs, image, okay, and then CSS tutorial, okay. So now we're going in Visual Studio Code, and for the absolute URLs you have a paragraph. In line 12 you have the A. If the A element has an href attribute, then it represents a hyperlink, a hypertext anchor labeled by its content. So we have the href, and it's sending us to the w3.org website. The second one, we have a paragraph, we have the A element, we have the href attribute, and this time it's sending us to the Google URL. So everything is fine here. Now we're gonna see lines 15. We have the heading 2, we have the relative URLs. And line 16 we have a paragraph, we have the A element, we have the href, and this time is sending us to html_images.asp. So it's gonna send us to this link, and we have HTML images. So we don't have this here, we can create it. Let's just change to HTML, and this one too, let's change it to an HTML extension. So if I go right now to our document, if I click it, it's not gonna work. Okay, it's not working, and it's not gonna work this one either. So because it doesn't exist, so I'm gonna grab this name here, and I'm gonna create a file here. So I'm gonna create it over here, and let's put just some context. So shift exclamation mark, we save it. And okay, so when we go to our document, okay, so I'm gonna go to Visual Studio Code, HTML images.html. okay, it's okay, I'm gonna save it. I didn't save it. Right now I go to my document, I click it. I don't have anything here, but it's working. So let's put some, I don't know, like let's put some paragraphs maybe in the body. I don't know. Hello YouTube. Let's see, we save it. Okay, and then you have it. So, and now the second one here, the second one is kind of tricky because we have this file default.html, but it's inside of a folder named CSS. So first we're gonna create a folder, and this folder is gonna be named CSS. So, and inside of that we're gonna grab this file, and I'm gonna paste it here, and I'm gonna have it default.html. So now I'm gonna save it. Let's make sure that we save it. And okay, so I'm gonna go back here. I'm gonna press the CSS tutorial, and it's gonna send me to this page. So it's working. I don't have anything in there, but it's working. So let's shift exclamation mark, and let's just put, I don't know, CSS text, for example. I don't know, inside of a paragraph. So let's put it here inside, and then we save it. So we go and we click CSS tutorial, and then we have CSS text, we have HTML images, we click it, we have hello YouTube. So it's working. So that's how you do it here. So that is for those examples for the absolute URLs and the relative URLs. And then again, for the relative URL, here in the test.html, I have my href, that is, I have this file here, and this file html_images.html is this one, and this one is in the root. But for example, the second one, the file default.html is inside of a folder CSS, and that folder CSS is in the root. So that's pretty much how it works. Now we have HTML links. Use an image as a link. To use an image as a link, just put the inside angle brackets img tag inside the a element, inside of the a tag. So now we have we're gonna grab this example, and we're gonna go to our HTML file, but I'm gonna delete this one, and I'm gonna paste it. Okay, so, and again, instead of default ASP, I'm gonna use an HTML extension. And okay, so I'm gonna have a default extension, and it's gonna be, oh no, wait a minute, this one is gonna send us to this. Okay, instead of that, I'm just gonna grab this link here, and I'm gonna send us right here. It's gonna send us to the W3 schools. So okay, so we have in lines 11 we have the a element, we have the href, we have the equal sign. Inside of the double quotes we're gonna have the URL of the W3 schools. That is that. For line 12 we have the image, and we have the source. In this case we have a smiley.gif. Let's see if we can find, let me see, we can save it. Okay, so now it's gonna work. Yeah, I want to replace it. Okay, so now you can see it's moving. So now it's working. Okay, so now we have in the line 12 we have the alt. Inside of the double quotes we have the HTML tutorial. We have the style, that is gonna be a width of 42 pixels and a height of 42 pixels. So it's working here. Once you press it, it's gonna send you to the W3 schools, and it works. So now it's working. That is that for that example. Now we have the link to an email address. Use mail to inside the href attribute to create a link that opens the user's email program to let them send a new email. So here we have, again, we have the a element, we have the href, and inside of the double quotes we're gonna have mail to someone at example.com. So all this stuff. So let's just grab this example. We go to we're gonna go here, just paste it. Inside of the body is gonna be line number 11. So if we go to our website, I'm gonna have this one, this just document here. So that's pretty much it for now. Again, we have only the A element, we have the href attribute. Inside of the double quotes we're gonna have mail to calling, and then the person that you want to mail it, you have their email, and then some text. So that is that for the example. Now we have the button as a link. To use an HTML button as a link, you have to add some JavaScript code. JavaScript allows you to specify what happens at certain events, such as a click of a button. So we're gonna grab this example. We're gonna go to Visual Studio Code to line 11. I'm gonna save it, and now we have the button tag. So now we're gonna have on click, and we use the equal sign. Inside of the double quotes we have document that location is equal to default as that ASP HTML tutorial. So in this case what we're gonna do is we want to be sent to this website. So I'm gonna replace it default that ASP. I'm gonna replace it with that. I'm gonna save it, and let's see what happens. So I have my button and it works. It sent me to the W3 schools. So again, in line number 11, so we have the button, we have a on click event, and you're gonna see this in JavaScript. We have the equal sign, we have inside of the double quotes we have the document that location, we use the equal sign. We have inside single quotes this time we're gonna have the URL where you wanna go, and this time I'm just using the W3 schools as a reference, but you can also go, I don't know, maybe Google. I don't know, maybe we can go to Google, and then this would be just Google, just G, I don't know, Google. So we save it, we Control S, and now our button, when we press the button here that's named Google, is gonna send us to the page of Google. It should work. So, and it does. Okay, so that works fine. Okay, so now we're gonna have link titles. The title attribute specifies extra information about an element. The information is most often shown as a tooltip text when the mouse moves over the element. So here we're gonna grab this example. We're gonna go to Visual Studio Code. I'm gonna make it this one a little bigger. Okay, so I'm gonna go here to, it's gonna be in line 11. I have the A element, I have the href, and inside of the href we have this URL https:// www.w3schools.com/html/. The title is gonna be go to W3 schools HTML section. So okay, so now when I click here, it's gonna send us to this website. So it's working. And again we have the text, visit our HTML tutorial. That's what you see here. And yeah, you have the title, go to W3 schools HTML section, and then the most important is the URL that is gonna be inside of the href. So you click it and it's gonna send you to the website that you want to go. In this case, w3schools.com/html. So it's not gonna be as the previous one that we saw here, just the .com. This one is .com/html, because that's what we are having specified here. So that is that for that example. Now more on absolute URLs and relative URLs. So here we have use of a full URL to link a web page. So you have the A element, you have the href, you have the https:// www.w3schools.com/html/default.asp, and then you have here this one, the HTML tutorial. Now we have the link page, the link to a page located in the HTML folder on the current website. So for example, here we have the A element, you have the href, and it's assigned to this file, default.asp, but this file is inside of this folder named HTML. As we saw in this previous example, we have this file named default.html, and it's inside of this folder named CSS. That's how it works here. Okay, and we can grab this example and just do it here. So we're gonna delete this one, and we're gonna paste it here. So now we have, again, I'm gonna name it HTML. Okay, so now I have to create a file, default.html, inside of a folder HTML. So let's see what happens if I go to the website. I'm gonna go with, okay, I click it and nothing is happening, it's broken. So I created the folder name HTML, and inside of the folder HTML I'm gonna create a file, default.html. So I'm gonna go here and I'm gonna create a new file. It's gonna be named default.html. So I have the folder HTML, and inside of that is gonna be the file default.html. So now when I go to the website, okay, so I click it and now it works. There's nothing here, but it's working. So we can go here to the default.html file inside of the folder HTML, and we can press shift exclamation mark and just put some text. So HTML is working. Let's put it like that. Okay, it's working. So if we click it, it's gonna say that okay, HTML is working. So that is that. Okay, now we have link to a page located in the same folder as the current page. And this one, again, you have the A element, you have the href that is assigned to this file that is in the root. It's not in a folder. So, and it says HTML tutorial. So let's just grab it, and we're gonna go to our HTML, I name it test.html file. So I'm gonna save it here, and now I have to have a file named default.html, but it's not gonna be in a folder. It has to be here in the root. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna grab this default.html that is inside of the folder HTML. Now it's just gonna move it, and now it's in the root. And here it says HTML is working. So HTML is in the root now. Okay, so I'm gonna open it with Alt+L. Okay, as you can see, HTML is in the root now, so it's working. So that is that for that example. And what do we have here? So now we have just the chapter summary. Use the A element to define a link. Use the href attribute to define the link address. Use the target attribute to define where to open the link document. Use the image element inside of the A element to use an image as a link. Use the mail to calling scheme inside of the href attribute to create a link that opens the user's email program. And finally, we just have the A element tag that defines a hyperlink.